Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers now. The data is in, and this video is going to be recorded, you guys, absolutely live. So enjoy. I'm going to do the best I can. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to take, your answers. We'll do some live Q&A. So, in other words, guys, super excited. I absolutely love the live Q&A. That's my favorite part. If and honestly, if that's all I could do, I'd probably do it. So anyways, you guys, we're going to get started right now. We're going to talk about, institutional investors. We're going to talk about the fact that, institutional investors are pulling back from the market, and not just institutional investors. There's actually several categories of investors that are actually pulling out of the market for several reasons, starting with quantitative tightening. Obviously, the quantitative tightening, you guys, is killing their cap rates. So not only is it killing their cap rates, a lot of these institutional investors have lost a tremendous amount of money as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to open up an article. I'm going to give you a little bit about my opinions. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to take some live Q&As. Maybe I can have some subs come on here and participate with me. But either way, you guys, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. I'm trying the best I can to get you guys clean and accurate information and talk with extreme specificity. So thank you guys. Let's get started right now. Now, real quick, guys, I am not going to re-edit this. One of the first videos that we did, I re-edited, down so there wasn't the live Q&A, and I posted it, and the algorithm destroyed me. So this is going to be the video. I will not be, editing it down and sending it out. But we're going to look at Fortune, guys. Here's an article from Fortune. You do need a subscription to access this, so I apologize. But I thought this was really good, and it's really quick as well. So let's go right now, okay? So institutional homebuyer Yieldstreet slashes buying levels by 90% as it awaits a sharper home price correction. So this is especially important to me, you guys, because, this is a sign of things to come. If institutional investors are backing away from the market, there's probably a reason why. Do y'all see what I'm saying? There's probably a reason why. We could probably look at this behavior, and, that should reassure us that we're doing the right thing as well by waiting, okay? And I start to see you guys come in here. How are you guys? I love you. Jeff, what's up, Jeff? Love you, Jeff. Where's Dooster? Don't know where Dooster is. Absolutely love you guys. But let's get started in this article. And again, I will have it linked in my description. I like Fortune. It's one of the few places that I pay for a subscription for. But again, you guys, just really good information from Fortune that I find. They also have a lot of interactive maps. That's why I love Fortune. Now, let's go. The ongoing housing market downturn has seen everyone from mom and pop landlords to Blackstone-owned Home Partners of America. Now, Home Partners of America is one of the biggest leasing management companies in the nation, and they have pulled back greatly as well, you guys. So just wanted to say, basically, Blackstone is Home Partners of America, just to kind of, connect that for you guys. Let's keep going. It makes sense. This is talking about institutionals pulling back. It makes sense on the way up. The pandemic housing boom, which saw rents and home prices soar, was amazing for everyone except the renters, from Airbnb hosts to home flippers to institutional buyers on Wall Street. And you guys, now that I've started doing these videos, I get it now. I see how bad these institutional investors are and Wall Street is. And the thing is pre-COVID, I was a little bit clueless. I didn't realize how many, institutional investors and algorithms and just, REIT funds and trust funds that were in our housing market. It's absolutely discouraging, but it is what it is. I want to make you guys aware of that. However, last year's historic mortgage rate shock, it is historic, has seen the national market flip from inflation mode to deflation mode. The fear of further price declines underpins many investors' decisions to remain on the sidelines. So investors, you guys, whether you like it or not, or believe it or not, they're on the sidelines. Lennar can't even sell their homes for 20% off right now. They're trying to sell 5,000 homes in bulk at a discount. Lennar right now is trying to do that. Now, from December onwards, the expectations from my site is that we will have another 10 to 15% decline nationally. So you guys see this in institutional investors now. So there's more and more people coming out that are, I don't know why it took to 2023, completely bonkers to me, shocking to me. But now we're having institutional investors coming out basically saying we expect 10 to 15% decline. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Isn't that a big deal, right? It's starting to come to the light more and more to the mainstream media. Now, obviously, you guys see it. If anyone that's been watching me has see it, and I'm not saying stay stuck in fear. I'm saying understand what's going on and prepare. And the other thing is what's wrong with you having a little fear? Without fear, there's no courage, just stupidity, right? Fear is important. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Yieldstreet, which owns over 600 U.S. homes, has put their money where their mouths are. In the second half of 2022, Joshi says Yieldstreet reduced its home buying levels by more than 90% in the face of falling home prices. So thank God they're acknowledging that. To me, when someone acknowledges that, at least I feel more comfortable investing with them. I'm not saying invest with them at all, but thank goodness they can at least acknowledge what's going on. There's a huge problem in our industry with the people just not acknowledging, right? Just acknowledge that people should be cautious, at least in some metro areas, right? Because I get some metro areas aren't experiencing the crash or correction or negative equity, right? I don't want to get stuck on the word play. These guys are crazy. But we're talking about falling home prices, okay? When I say crash or loss of equity or correction, we're talking about negative home prices here. This is crazy, you guys. This is absolutely crazy. So we pretty much paused across the board. So they've pretty much paused everything, you guys. Here's the Case-Shiller. Now, the thing is, I don't use the Case-Shiller because I want to know what's going on right now. The Case-Shiller, you guys, is so far behind. I mean, yeah, we can have, make college classes and study all of this data a year from now, right? When everything's already messed up. So Case-Shiller, not that good, but you guys can see here that the Case-Shiller is actually finally starting to report negative equity growth, house price decline, right? It's finally starting to report it. It's one of the biggest lagging indicators out there. But thank God it's finally starting to show that. Through November, the Case-Shiller National Home Price Index has U.S. home prices down 2.4% from the June 2022 peak. However, Joshi says that lagged Case-Shiller reading is underreporting the actual decline. Do y'all see what I'm saying? In his view, once his forecast of an additional 10 to 15% home price correction comes to fruition, U.S. home prices in the second and third quarter of 2023 will be about 20% below their 2022 peak. So look at this, guys. So here's what they're saying. Okay, so they expect, this is interesting, and I'm gonna tell you guys here in a minute why I believe that they're expecting this. Thank you, Bill. Definitely appreciate that. You guys don't have to send me money. It's more important to me that you guys save your own money then send me money. You guys are doing enough by supporting me. When you hit like, when you comment, you guys, you've helped me how I need to be helped. Okay. Big shout out. Thank you so much, Bill. The action means a lot to me, brother, but I just want to make sure you're saving your money right and putting yourself in a good position. So anyways, you guys, let's continue here. So what I'm saying is this, take a look at this. Okay. So they're expecting, and this is interesting, home prices to essentially hit bottom is how I'm reading this, in the second and third quarter of 2023. I believe you guys, the reason why they're suspecting it's going to be hit bottom the second and third quarter of 2023 is inventory flood, right? Generally, we're going to get a massive surge in inventory in Q2 and into Q3. And as that inventory sits and more distressed buyers, put their properties on the market, it's going to cause prices to go down. But the thing here is it's going to continue to hit the bottom until the Fed pivots, and then shortly after that, right? So, you got to look at the pivot. You got to look at the Federal Reserve, you guys, because they're in control, and ain't no one have a crystal ball. These guys are not, it's really hard to tell, you guys, but we do know rates matter, right? At the beginning of this, I got a lot of hate from a lot of so-called economists that, interest rates have nothing to do with home prices. Completely shocking, because it has to do with unaffordability, right? Now, a closer look at a hypothetical drop in U.S. home prices. So, 20% peak to trough drop in home prices. So here's where they're saying that they want us to get. Okay, so we're right here. We're way high, you guys. Here's a 10% decline. Here's a 20% decline. But as you guys know, Redfin is already showing a 10% decline. This is an extremely lagging, indicator right here. This is really not going to help us. We're kind of already past this, in my opinion. And again, you guys, that's why I stick with Redfin, because they actively update their data, right? And it seems like Redfin has been on top of this the best, but the problem is who do we really lean on to get accurate information. I don't know. And also I lean on Fred, but Fred has its own issues. Everyone has issues, in my opinion. Now, obviously, some markets, this is important. Obviously, some markets will be less impacted. Markets that all be more markets that'll be more impacted are the ones where you have a lot of inventory of new homes. Okay. And I've been saying that, right? New home construction is important, like Phoenix, Las Vegas, Dallas, and Boise. Where's Austin? Like, where's Austin at? Why are they hating on Austin? I drove all the way to Austin to show them that. That's okay. There are markets with a lot of construction, with a lot of new homes. Those are on the market that'll be the leader in terms of how much home prices will decline. And I want to talk about this in a minute. There will be some markets in the Northeast which haven't had a lot of new construction, probably the same with Jeff, where home prices are expected to fare better in terms of declines. So I'm going to talk about that here before I end, you guys. There's a little bit more here. I'm going to speed through this. Unless a home seller is going through a major life event like divorce or job relocation, which is the number one reason people move. So, just put that in perspective. So, number one, people move, but let me read this again. They're usually resistant to selling below previous market highs. However, it's a different story for home builders. They lose money for each additional day. You guys, that's what I'm saying. They can't hold on to their houses. They lose money for each additional day a completed home sits on their balance sheet. That's why markets with lots of new construction will be most prone to home price declines in 2023. I absolutely agree with that. I'm going to go over 4 things at the end of this. Home builders continue to unwind their historic pipeline of unfinished homes, should continue to depress new homes prices through the first half of 2023. Knowing this, some sideline institutional investors are already trying to sweet talk builders into giving them sweetheart deals. With some builders like Lennar, remember, and I'm going to have a video, I may do that video today or tomorrow, are actively shopping unsold homes to big time investors. And again, you guys, they can't sell the homes. They're shopping like 5,000 homes in Kansas City. They can't sell them for 20% off because the institutional investors already know that's not a good deal. Right? They already know it's not a good deal. They need to go down more. And we also know that because, and again, I'm going to do a video tomorrow, but these new home builders went down 30% on one house like this, right? I mean, how much they got a lot of profit in there, so they can go down a bit more, in my opinion, without really suffering. What's an interesting dynamic with the institutional investors is a lot of them have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the moment to strike. Hey, I want to buy these homes from you, the builder, and I want to have a discount to do so. The institutional investors don't want a markdown of 10%. They're hoping for 20 to 30%. So odds are, guys, if you're prepared right now, if you're an expert in your market, really understanding what's going on, I think that almost all of us is going to be able to get a good deal. Even Jeff's in a market it's actually, I pulled up the stats. It's super competitive. But the thing is now that Jeff's so proactive and he's looking, he can take advantage of a home that comes on the market, hits his buy box, but for under market value, right? We need the prices to go down, right? Like everyone gets that, I think. So let's continue, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Personally, I think the second or third quarter of 2023, at the point when mortgage rates come back down closer to 5%, you'll see some demand come back, and that'll basically set a floor for how far home prices can fall. So really good stuff here, you guys. Really good stuff here, you guys. That's gonna do it. But I just wanted to say what I believe. There's basically 4 factors that I believe are gonna have an effect on metro areas as far as having the biggest price declines. Number 1, most unaffordable cities, right? The most unaffordable cities are going to have the biggest price declines, as evident in California. It's starting to finally hit Florida as well. It hasn't hit Florida like California yet, but I'm telling you guys, especially with the hurricane, it will. So unaffordable cities. Now, number 2 is, I'm sorry, I had to look at my notes, new construction. So that's why I'm so excited, with the state of Texas. Texas is the number 1 state in new construction. So again, unaffordable, new construction, and institutional investor shares, or really just investor shares. So I think like Atlanta, I think it's going to have a massive price decline because overwhelming amount of investors picked up home. And I believe that a predominant amount of those investors are poorly leveraged and are not going to be able to get through the recession without having to liquidate their property. Liquidate, right? It's hard to liquidate. Now, the other thing is there's actually only 3 things, but the 4th thing that I really want to bring to light, guys, is as this data here shows, all of these people have different data. CoreLogic, Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow, and they are all saying different things. So what I'm trying to tell you is it's super duper important. You have to do your own thinking, right? You have to make up your own decisions. Even though I know I have a very passionate opinion, I'm still giving you guys links and saying, don't listen to everything I'm saying. Follow the links. My situation is different from your situation, right? But I am showing you my situation. Okay. So anyways, I'm ranting. Let's go ahead and take some questions, guys, right now. All right. So start your questions. I'm going to see if you guys asked any questions already here. Okay. So let's see. So throw up some questions, you guys. I'm going to throw this up right here. Let me also see. I'm going to send this link right here. If anyone wants to jump on the live, again, I will mute you and kick you if you say the wrong things, because I have to. It's a YouTube thing. So, understand that. But I just sent the link right now in the live chat. Okay. So here's a question. What you think rates are coming down to in the fives in Q2 or Q3? No. Did I misunderstand? I thought you and Orlando both agree rates are going up. No. What I was pointing out, Travis, nice name, by the way. What I was pointing out is, according to the institutional investor, Q2 and Q3 of next year are going to be the bottom of the market as far as home prices, right? But that's what I was pointing out. I don't necessarily think that actually, I think it is possible, to be honest with you, that the Fed does pivot Q3, immediately after Q2. I think Q2, we're going to have the confirmed recession. After the confirmed recession, things blow out of control. Fear of missing out goes to the seller. And at that point, the Fed pivots. So I think the Fed is going to pivot in Q3, but I don't think the rates are going to hit 5. I don't think rates are going to hit 5% in 2023. I think the soonest that might happen is maybe middle to end of 2024. And the thing is we don't want rates that low, right? You guys should understand that what happened in the past as a result of a 2-3% interest rates, you can't do that. So I hope I answered that question. Let's see if, let's see here. I'm trying to get some more questions, you guys. I really apologize. It's a lot easier to do this. So yeah, Deuster, it's still holding strong. I had someone join our live stream. Karina. Oh, lost Karina. Karina, come back. Karina. It takes courage, but Karina, come back on. All right, I had you. I almost added you. Florida is still strong. You do have to have patience. It is, falling down pretty quickly. I've had people actually, tell me what's going on there. Let's see here in Columbus. I'm renting a house for my cousin. Yes. Good point right here, Griffin. Good point. I do have some mods. Jeff's a mod. Deuster's a mod, which is the only reason Deuster got me that one live video. But I have mods on here, man. If any of my mods or really anyone sees anything bad going on the live chat, help me out. Knock that out, you guys. I don't see many questions. Okay. Okay. So I think she got booted out. Okay. Here's Griffin Notary. All right, Griffin.
Hey, what's going on, Travis? How you doing?
Griffin, I can't hear you, brother. Hold on. I'm sorry, Griffin. Hold on a second. Talk.
Hey, how you doing, my man?
Again?
Hey, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Can you guys hear Griffin? You guys do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear Griffin. How are you, man?
Man, look, I am doing great. Look, Travis, I got to tell you, as you see, my business name is Griffin Notary Services. I do long closings and everything online and face-to-face. Been doing it for 4.5 years. And your information and Orlando's information and Saks, all of y'all, it's helped me with my business because all of the stuff y'all talking about, I actually see. See as I'm doing the closings, and those HELOCs are starting to pop a whole lot more. And now I've been seeing more refis, and the refis is weird because it's people refinancing from a lower interest rate to a higher so they can consolidate debt and pay that debt off so that if this recession hits, they got money. I mean, I'm sitting here watching people going from a 2% to a 7-8% interest rate just to get cash out, pay off $50,000 in debt. So, man, you are doing great.
Yeah, I mean, First of all, Griffin, thank you, man. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. I don't have my teleprompter up, so I can't look at you in the eyes. I have to look over here. I hate it.
Gotcha.
I was such a wreck. I forgot to hook that up. But man, here's the thing, and I try to warn people about this because this happened to me, which is essentially getting in more debt to stay alive, right? In my opinion, in certain situations, and I'm not trying to sell anyone's house. I don't want to sell anyone's house. If you email me to sell your house, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you right now.
Right.
But I think, that in some situations, probably in many situations, it's better to cut your losses, sell your house, take the equity, and go to somewhere more affordable. What happened to me is I tried to stay afloat. I ended up also having to go bankrupt. So not only did I have the foreclosure, I went bankrupt. And, there's certain situations, a cash out refi, debt consolidation makes sense. But when you go from a 2 to 7, dude, I mean, geez, that's bad. That is a bad deal. That is a bad deal.
That's what I'm seeing people do. And I'm seeing some of the HELOCs are at the highest one I've seen was at 11.99%. And they're pulling money out doing a HELOC. The loan modifications have actually slowed up. I haven't seen as many of those recently, but when August, September, October hit, it was a ton of those. November, December, it's been a ton of refis and people doing the HELOCs, and there have been people buying and selling houses. I do business with one of the home builders, the one that's above Lennar. I won't say their name. I want them to think
DR.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm cool with DR. I like them. I mean, they helping me keep the lights on in my house. So, but even they're struggling. All of them are struggling and everything. But people are still buying and selling houses.
I know.
But the information, and what I would just like to say to the people out there, you got to listen to Travis. You got to listen to all of those who he's connected with, because when you take the culmination of everything that this gentleman is saying, as well as everybody else, it'll give you a better understanding of what is really going on out here in the real estate market. And it's really helping me to manage my business and to keep myself employed with these real estate companies and these title companies with doing closings while other notaries have fallen off. I'm still out here doing the work because they need it. The people need the stuff and all of that. So thanks again, man. And also reverse mortgages are starting to pop too.
Yep. One of the biggest reverse mortgage lenders just went out of business or filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But let me ask you, Griffin, because you're a notary. Will you tell the viewers how important it is to get everything in writing on real estate? And I threw up a question here. Now, and this is, my show is just a personal show. We're able to just be free. This is not a business show. We're not financial advisors. This is just our opinions. But can you go into a little bit about any stories that you've had where you have had someone reach out to you to try to cancel the closing after they've signed?
There have been one or two where they contacted me because I'm independent. So they're thinking that I'm working for the title company or a signing company or whoever. And they'll say, I need to cancel this. And I'm like, I can't. I'm charging and I left y'all the right to cancel, especially if it's on a refinance on a primary home. I said, so you have to contact them. And they're like, well, looking back at it now, I didn't understand this. I didn't understand that. I thought I was going to get more money out than what I did. I didn't realize I could have got a better deal. And case in point, over a year ago, a gentleman had got a refinance. And this is where you have to be careful. The notaries can't be saying too much. And the notary told him, the notary ran his mouth and said, contact the lender to make sure you're getting your escrow, the money that's supposed to come back after closing. What most people don't realize is that by law, they're supposed to send it to you 30 days after the closing. So the guy called his previous lender. That lender said, oh, we can give you a better deal. He ended up going in limbo for 6 months, not realizing that, oh, I don't have a mortgage. So because the other company paid his previous mortgage off prior to the 3-day rescission. And next thing you know, he said, I want to cancel. They're like, you can't cancel because we've already paid off your old mortgage. And he was stuck for 6 months with no mortgage. So, and you do have to pay attention because they have a document in some of the things that says you agreed that you don't have any side deals or side agreements, no
Yeah.
oral agreements.
Right.
And that's
Right.
telling you something that if you and Bill, the loan officer, made an agreement to do something and you sign that document, you're
Yep.
saying that the paperwork is what I'm going by. I'm not going by what Bill said. So
Yeah. And
people
that's
have tried to reach out to me to cancel. I say, basically, I tell them, you're grown, you're an adult, you have to read the documentation for yourself.
Griffin, I really thought of something that's really important since you're a notary. So you're a real estate notary, right?
Correct.
In real, so you guys, I kind of want to divert just a little bit, man, from the questions because
Sure.
of you being here. I want you to talk, Griffin, about, and I know you have to be careful because you're a notary, but I'm going to say it like this, man. A lot of times when the notary is not in charge of approving the loan. The
Correct.
notary is not in charge of explaining like the intimate, like credit stuff, DTI stuff to the buyer. The notary's job is just to sign the paperwork. So Griffin, can you tell me, do you often have an impression when you sign documents with someone that the loan officer did a poor job at explaining the paperwork? Because my point, a lot of people, Griffin, is like the value of a great loan officer and a great realtor, it can't be measured because it's so rare. So like, do you notice when like you go to a closing, the difference of like this customer is well informed versus like, they are not taking this seriously? Do you see that
Yeah,
a lot?
I do see that a lot because, and it also depends because the mistake that happens sometimes is they tell the customer, the signer, yeah, the notary is an extension of us. The problem is legally, if I'm not a W-2 trained by
Yeah.
you, an employee of yours, I can't be an extension of you. My role is to represent what my state has commissioned me to do, which is verify identity and watch you sign the document, administer the oath. And real quick, if you're in a closing and you're signing affidavits and the notary did not administer the oath, that's not proper. You have to be administered the oath. So that's the role of the notary. Yes, a notary can point to here's where your interest rate is, here's these on your CD,
Right.
but in Virginia, where I'm from, I'm legally not allowed to help you to understand a document that I'm notarizing. So there are times where the person comes in, I get in and out in 25, 30 minutes because the loan officer, title company explain things. Other people, they're like, what's this? What's this? What this mean? Matter of fact,
Yeah.
hold on, let me call my loan officer.
Yeah.
And then the loan officer is frustrated that they're getting this phone call. But the buyer sometimes did not take time out to review the documents before and ask the question. And then they're waiting for me to tell them all the intricacies about it. And I'm like, if you've been working on this with your loan officer for 4 months, I'm getting a notification and I got 2 hours to get to you. How can I legally and confidently help you to understand something that you've been working with a group of people for longer than you've known me? And you're supposed to take my word that this is a good deal. I can't put myself in that position. You got to go back to Bill. And I will sit there with a person for 2 hours while they go through their documents and talk to their loan officer to make sure they're comfortable with it. But I will never take on that role because, and that's what I love about what we do here, because everybody has a specific role. The lender, the underwriter, and a lot of people don't understand the importance of the underwriter and all of that.
The reality,
it's like, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well,
No.
I was gonna because you brought something, but the reality is the underwriter is really in control of everything, in my opinion. But let me ask you, Griffin, do you think people should go to closing without without a great understanding of their loan? Do you think that's when you do that? Is at closing?
No, at the closing, you're supposed to already know what and why you're signing it. Now, do you understand the different documents like the borrower's consent to use tax return? They may not understand that, and all that document is just saying you're giving them permission to use the tax return in case they decide to sell it. But if they read those 4 lines, they will understand it because it's very understandable. But you need to know what you're doing, why you're doing it ahead of time. And I tell people, if the reason why you went to get this deal, if you're getting what you want out of this deal, then everything is cool. But if you wanted a lower interest rate, but now your payment might be $200 higher.
Yeah.
Okay, which one is more important to you? Well, I wanted both. Well, did you communicate that to them? Because
Probably
if you didn't
not.
tell him I want a lower interest rate and a lower payment, and the loan officer gave you what you told them you want, you
Then
I
that's
can't.
on there. Yeah. I
Right.
mean, there's a balance. At the end of the day, like the way I look at things is I'm responsible for my life. If something goes wrong, it's because I chose that professional. But we also have to understand that a lot of people don't do that. And that's the reality. And you can't disregard that. A lot of people aren't paying attention. So, really
You're
appreciate
right.
you, man.
No
Um,
problem. No
so
problem. But
I'm going
just
to jump.
remember, people, the notaries are there to just sign and stamp papers. And what
Oh,
you gonna
yeah.
ask me to do, sir?
I remember. So one of the problems, because you're in the industry like me, one of the problems, man, is like we can't, the way the industry is set up, I feel like we can't be forthcoming, right? Like, because you said everyone has their own roles. Like, I don't want to talk about what a loan officer did or a realtor did unless I am or a title company. But I mean, quite frankly, man, I mean, so some people just don't do their jobs.
Correct.
It is what it is, man. So Griffin, I'm rambling. I'm going to get back to these questions, brother. But do you want to? You could stay here to answer some questions. But do you want to say anything, man? Any final thoughts on maybe some encouragement you can give to people that are discouraged and overwhelmed right now?
Well, I will say, if they stick to it, if they come up with a plan and understand why they're doing what they're doing and understand how to get it done, they can stand on that. We get lost when we don't know what we're doing and how to do it. How do I get from this point to that point? And there's so much stuff that's going on out here on the internet. There's so many people trying to push stuff to us, these get rich quick schemes, hopping this way, that way. People did that with the notary. But if you really look at life and say, what is it that I want? And you work with your family, make sure
Yeah,
you and your spouse are one-on-one, on one accord, and y'all stick with that. And the main thing is, don't get out of your character trying to chase money of any sort. If you stay within who you are as a person, that's going to carry you, because some of these people who are telling you what to do out here, they will pull you out of who you are as a person, and your family and friends will be like, what is wrong with you? And that's when you start really losing yourself and your support. So that's what I stick to. And there's just some roads you don't need to go down.
yeah, very
They look
powerful.
nice, but I
A
just
very
don't go down them. But and anybody who's interested in notary, I have a YouTube channel, Griffin Notary, and I just talk about notary life and just try to give people honest, real stuff. And I refer to you and the guys you hang with a lot, all the time, because I tell people, you ain't got to listen to me, listen to them. They will tell you what's going on out here. And I just appreciate you, man. I really, really do.
it's my pleasure, man. I really that was a very powerful answer. I'm gonna go check, guys, check his video out, his channel out. Obviously, I could tell you that that was some soul hitting answers right there, man.
Thank you,
Hit
bro.
my soul right there. So I'm gonna let you go, brother. And stay in touch. Yeah,
Will do, man. Will do.
it was my honor, brother.
All right. Thank you, sir.
See you, Griffin. All right, guys. Man, what you guys see how humbled I am? What an absolutely amazing community. So, real quick about Miguel. What is my projection for prices to fall in Houston first and second quarter this year? The thing is Houston's a bit more stable. But the thing is I expect it another 10 to 15%, to be honest with you, in my opinion, first and second quarter. Houston's a little bit more stable, but the investor shares out here overwhelming, the new construction overwhelming. But the thing is, the third thing that Houston doesn't have as much as other areas, unaffordability. So Houston is comparatively still affordable, even though it's like not for natives. So I'm hoping 10 to 15%, but Miguel, I think that we're still going to have to hunt. I don't think it's going to fall on our laps. You know what I mean? I think we're going to have to put an effort in and whatnot. But again, it just depends on how much breaks. Let's see this next question. Redfin is already showing an uptick in sales and pricing going sideways. What will be the biggest catalyst to start the downward trend? The truth? The truth? Stop hiding the truth. Once the truth gets out there, I think that's straight. Once the truth is out there and mainstream in normal households, understand what's going on. That's the catalyst. Why else redefine definitions? Why else keep faking the data? The truth, you guys, I don't think they want us. And you know, that's just my opinion. I don't want to cause any problems. But let's see here. I'm going real quick down here, you guys. I'm so sorry. You know, Griffin just had some really good insights. I wanted to stay there. Travis, would you recommend? Here's a question. Travis, would you recommend buying a new building right now? Is that a good deal? I'm looking at North Carolina and Kingwood. And the thing is, guys, what I'm really in my channel, what I'm really trying to get through to the viewers is you need to be answering those questions, right? You need to be answering those questions. That's why I'm providing the data, data links. Go to Altos Research, go to Redfin Data Center, contact a realtor, interview them, have them do a market analysis, right? You guys, this is y'all's investment. This is not my investment. Now, having said that, you know, I think that we have to be cautious with new builds right now. I think the reason we have to be cautious is, you know, the material quality, the labor shortage, the inflation. I mean, everything through COVID, the amazing, crazy demand. So, you know, I think that different home builders need different levels of reassurance with quality. I think Lennar is going to be running into problems with quality, but there's other builders that don't. So, you know, I think that you've got to be choosy. I think you got to really choose the builder you're working with. And I definitely think inspections are a must. A lot of people don't get inspections. So I hope I answered that. I appreciate price is still very high. I see Jeff. Where's Vital at? Vital Signs. I'm trying to find some questions here, guys. I'm just scrolling down really quick. I'm just throwing up the first question I see. I'm not reading it. Do you think government is likely to bail out these massive home builders and institutional investors if things get super rough, similar to the auto industry bailout years ago? I hope not. I hope not. The thing is I wouldn't be surprised. I still feel disappointment, but I wouldn't be surprised, you guys. I mean, I just have lost so much faith in, you know, trusting the government to have good intentions through this. So I think it's possible, Travis, but I hope it doesn't happen for obvious reasons. But I really hope it doesn't happen. Okay, so here's a good question. Travis, he said that people are taking out HELOCs that had low interest rates. Are these people taking money out because they overpaid and well, the thing is, JJ, is it's probably instead of pulling out a HELOC to access your equity in this situation, it's probably better to sell, right? But JJ, it's 100% possible. I mean, I think the question is are people pulling out HELOCs to stay alive? You know, and you know, talking to Griffin, you know, it sounds like he's seeing that as well. I think that generally people are getting HELOCs to invest in real estate, right? To invest in a rental property or something. But I see that changing into more of a survival thing versus an investment thing. So I hope I answered that okay. Let's see. So here's the thing, you guys. I've thought about this. They already have, the thing is with the foreclosures, I mean, they have loan modification in place. And okay, so when I started, you know, really doing these videos, which was March of this year, March of 2022, you know, I kept track of all of the things that I was saying. And there was a couple things that I was wrong about, a lot of things that I was right about. But one of the things that I was wrong about was foreclosures. And I analyzed, I'm like, why was I wrong about foreclosures? And the reality is from what I'm seeing in the data and something I did not take into consideration at the time, the impact of loan modification. Loan modification seems to really be helping these people. I can see new legislation coming in the form of short sale. I don't think that they really need to do too much as far as foreclosure because, I mean, look at how well it's doing. But I think if they do something, I think it would be more, personally, I think it would be more effective to do something with short sales. Maybe give, you know, the short seller protection from foreclosure hitting their credit, because short sale essentially counts as foreclosure, right? So I don't know. Kind of spooky. Let me see here. I'm trying to find some questions, you guys. I'm scrolling down. Here we go. Here's a good one. So consolidate debt at a higher rate to pay off more debt. So the thing is, you generally don't want to consolidate debt into a higher interest rate, right? The thing is this, though. There are different types of debt, right? There are different types of debt. Revolving debt or credit card debt, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's disgusting. You're going to waste your money forever almost if you make minimum payments on your credit card. Now, personal loans, debt consolidation loans, those are known as installment loans. Installment loans, basically the payment stays the same every month and you pay an equal portion of principal and interest every single month. Installment loan. So it's hard for me to say that doing debt consolidation into a higher rate is a smart thing, but if you're doing a debt consolidation from a revolving debt to an installment debt and your minimum payment is much lower, yet you're paying off more principal, I think that it could be beneficial to people that really take a look at that. Now, if you just run into a bank and say, I'm overwhelmed in debt, can I get another loan? I don't think that's going to help. But if you do it intelligently, I think debt consolidation is a solution for some people. Let me keep going here, you guys. Okay, here's a question about rates here. All right, if rates hit 8% this year, will sellers finally capitulate? Prices still too elevated in the area. The thing is, Gypsy Tree, and this is what I try to explain to people, it's not the sellers, right? The sellers are going to try to sell their house for what the market dictates. The Federal Reserve is the one that jacked up the market. You can't blame someone to wanting to sell something for what they can get it for, right? In my opinion. So I think what we need to see, Gypsy, is and this sucks, but we need to see pain. I don't know that there's going to be a straw, or a line drawn in the sand. I think what's going to happen, like I said, is the mainstream media. I don't think it's the interest rates. I think it's when the inventory dump comes in 2023, and because when the inventory dumps, there's going to be so much year-over-year decline, you guys. I mean, once that inventory dumps, it's going to be one of the ugliest housing markets the public has ever seen in a very long time, and I think that's what takes it to the next level. To be honest with you, I think the interest rates. I don't think they're looking at interest rates as much as like the loss, right? The loss of housing, the struggle, the pain, the unaffordability. Although interest rates do matter significantly. Let me see here. Getting tired of waiting in Miami. Get these investors out. Why don't they go? What they're doing in Canada, I don't know, right? And essentially what she's talking about is, if I'm not mistaken, Canada has actually. Let me see. So Canada has actually banned foreign investors as far as, and I did a video on that. I haven't followed back up with it, but I don't know. Let me see what Jeff has to say. Demand is strong. Going to be interesting to see if we're actually going to continue to see decreases in prices. If prices haven't come down by June, I think everyone is going to start FOMOing. Everyone wants to buy in 2023. So the thing is like, what Jeff is Jeff is right, and I had to like take a step back because like Jeff, and that's why I really show a lot of love to Jeff. Jeff has actually made me a much stronger person because I'm showing him empathy. I was like, wait a minute, what's Jeff talking about? So we looked into his market. He's on the struggle bus. Jeff is in an opposite market as Austin, right? So in his market, he doesn't have a lot of supply and demand is high. And I would agree with him that if he makes it all the way to June and in his market prices have still not gone down, I would freak out a little bit, right? Personally, I would freak out a little bit, but Jeff, I just don't. It is possible, right? Not every metro area will stay the same. And it is possible that some remain unaffordable and don't go down. I just, from what I went through, man, and from everything I'm looking at, I don't think that you're going to have that problem. But keep us updated, brother. All right, definitely keep us updated, and I want to hear from you on the regular. Let me get some more questions here. Bailed out home builders aftermath. Let me see this. I think this is a question here. Okay, Travis. Kraft, the government bailed out the new home builders in the aftermath of the last housing bubble by extending the loss carrying back 5 years. I think that's a given this time around. Yeah, so I could see that, right? Like special tax incentives and stuff like that. Like that's a really good point. Really good point. So here's a good question. Any recommendations for new new realtors in 2023? Okay, yeah, I definitely have recommendations for new realtors in 2023. First, understand that if you're a new realtor in 2023 or the into 2022, you're starting on, in my opinion, one of the most challenging real estate markets in a decade. And there's benefits to that. If you're a new realtor and you survive through the recession and the downturn, it's only going to make you stronger and more capable to genuinely help people once things flip around. So, and also I want to say this, my mom taught me this before I got my license. I got my license 10 days after I turned 19. She said this: all you need to be a successful realtor is be forthcoming and honest. And I cannot express that enough. What you should do, in my opinion, forthcoming and honest. And the last thing is, and this is also very important for any new professionals, I believe that anytime you start at a new company, new industry, in my opinion, and I know we're self-employed, you should join a team. I joined a top team. I think joining a top team, when I first started in Texas, I think joining a top team is vital for new agents, because it's not really how much time you have in the industry, it's how much experience, right? And by joining a top team, maybe you won't get paid that much. Who cares? Sacrifice your goals, your financial goals, and understand that by working for a team, it gives you an ability to get the knowledge and experience of many transactions. So, I would just say buckle down and work hard, right? Join a top team, see how they're doing it, learn from them. And then when you can go out on your own, go out on your own. That would be what I would say there. Let's see here. So, Jasmine, go to Altos Research. Okay, go to Altos Research. Reach out to a realtor, have them do a market analysis. Do I think it's going to be a great time to buy? That depends on you. That depends on your goals and on your situations. But I do not think that we're at the bottom of the market. I don't think we're even close to that. And any question, I'm going to tell you guys, anytime anyone asks if they should buy right now, and I had a conversation before I started this video, I'm going to say the same thing. I don't think we're at the bottom. I don't. So if you're going to buy right now, if you have the expectation that you will be stuck in your house, right? Fine, right? Plan for the worst, right? Go buy a house. I'm going to do that this year, but I don't think that most people should purchase the same method as me. I don't think most people are in the same situation as me. All right. Okay, here's JK. So Riverside. So Riverside's in Southern California. I actually grew up a little bit in Riverside. My parents got divorced. They moved around a lot. That's why I was all over the place. But Riverside, I got a lot to say about Riverside. But as far as from the housing market, I've seen this city, this county essentially it's IE and Empire, but Riverside on the year-over-year price decline list. So it's happening in California, and I believe it is happening in Riverside because it's unaffordable, one of the most unaffordable places. And there's, I believe, more new construction, at least from my memories of living there. There's more new construction in Riverside than, say, Orange County, which is really dense, or San Diego even. Riverside has a lot more land. So I think that Riverside's going to crash. I think it's going to continue to crash. I don't think that's going to stop. So, here's a good point. And this is, the thing is, if I trusted our political system, I would say definitely most people should wait till 2024. The thing that scares me, you guys, is 2024 is an election year. And that's the only reason that I've kind of put my eggs in the 2023 basket. I'm afraid. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's so much that can happen in an election year. But I believe, to be honest with you, my gut feeling is most first-time home buyers that are barely able to qualify, and you want the best deal, the absolute best deal of your lifetime, I think you find that Q4 of 2023, possibly Q2 up into Q2, Q3 of 2024. I'm not putting my eggs in that basket because I don't trust my politics, and I'm well positioned. In the better position that we are to buy, the more flexible that we can be when purchasing, right? That's why I'm always like, continue your purchasing power, strengthen yourself. Don't be at the mercy of the regulations, So, he brings a pretty good point there. So here, a crash won't even take us to pre-pandemic levels, coupled with surging rates, will never be more affordable than. And the thing is, guys, I really want people to think about what I'm saying here. There's a difference between, price and unaffordability, right? They're related. Price and unaffordability are related, but you guys, they're different things, right? If Hollywood goes down 70%, well past 2019, before 2019 levels, I still can't afford to live there. So if you guys are like looking at affordability versus price, I think some people in that category might want to start looking in other places to live. All right. And I say that very carefully. I had to do that. All right. I was on the struggle bus for a decade living in SoCal. I was married to my mortgage payment. I left. I moved to Texas. It was the best thing that I did. Right. But I left with a plan because I understand I can't escape my problems. Right. But it was a really, really good decision. All right. Here's a question right here. Question: what do you think about Naples, Florida? Do you foresee prices going? Yes. I absolutely see prices going down in Florida. Florida's a little bit more stubborn. There's a lot of second houses, a lot of migration there, not enough new building. And but I definitely think because it's unaffordable, you guys. I mean, it's still breaking fundamentals. So let me see. Here we go. This is a good one. Do you think we will see JJ? I'm telling you, man. Like being on the inside, there's hard money loans. In fact, people are like wanting to lend money to people right now because interest rates are so high. But people are like, maybe I should back off because I have 5 properties I just bought to flip and I'm stuck in them. You know what I mean? But yeah, hard money loans are here. They have been here. It's really easy to find them. Really poor financing. Hard money loans are not designed to hold on to for a long period of time because a lot of them have balloons and high rates. When calculating down payment, is it calculated from the home price or the home price plus interest rate? So a down payment is calculated based off of home price and type of loan. Like some loans have a minimum down payment requirement, like normal conventional is 5%, FHA is 3.5%, but there are conventional programs called Home Possible and Home Ready, 3% down. So the down payment is calculated by the purchase price or the appraisal value, whichever is less, because the purchase price has to be appraised from an appraiser. It has to match, right? The lender needs to know that they're lending on the collateral that's worth what the purchase price is. What do you think about the Florida market? Here, the realtors are said this market is unique and keep rising in prices. So the market is unique. It is for sure unique. It is a huge tourist destination. Second houses, vacant houses. I mean, Airbnbs. I mean, Florida's getting wrecked, quite frankly. So it is unique, but I don't think prices are still going to go up, man. I think we're going to see that. In fact, I've had people from Miami tell me that they're going down, but that was just comments. I haven't researched that. All right. I don't want to get into that. The whole situation is sad. Okay. Beyond Altos, what are the other tools you'd recommend for some home buyers buying new construction? It's scary time. Okay. So remember, stuff on your own. Altos Research, Redfin Data Center. But remember, you guys, use a realtor. You don't have to pay them any money. Use here's the thing. When I said to interview a realtor, have this be the way that you interview them, you guys. Have them doing a market analysis. Ask them, I want to know what the median price per square foot is with this zip code for 2021 and in 2020 and in 2022. And have that be your interview, right? Have them do a market analysis on the zip code you're interested in buying. I think that would be a good idea. And that goes with construction as well. It was a good question. Good question. All right. Another Florida market. A lot of questions on the Florida market. And I'm not looking at living in Cyprus necessarily. Yeah, I feel that way, man. I mean, I get scared sometimes that I'm going to get like laid off and hate when I go into classes. No, it's real. It's real. But I find that most people I'm around, I mean, they agree with me and they actually are proud of me. There's always going to be those haters. All right, here's a question, you guys. New construction areas typically have lower school ratings. Will ratings improve as schools get more property tax dollars? So I haven't noticed that, but yes, technically, if in Texas, a lot of the property taxes go to the school district. So if there's more building, new construction, then it stands to reason that the school districts will get more taxes. But I haven't noticed that really. Maybe you have a point though. I'm not sure. I haven't noticed that, but you could be right. This one right here. This is a hard question because you have to consider the money that you're wasting in rent, and that's hard. And the thing is, I say all the time, renting is wasting money, and I'm generalizing that comment. Obviously, I'm renting myself, so there's certain reasons in certain moments in life where renting actually makes sense. I'm going to take these out. No one's coming on. Where actually makes sense. But what I did is I calculated for the 23 months that I'm renting, here's how much money I'm wasting. I think it was like 55,000. So I'll be renting for 23 months. I'm wasting $55,000. So what I need to see in my own local housing market is home prices go down $55,000 for it to have made sense to me. But I'll also argue it made sense for me to rent because there's no inventory. I'm not going to buy an overpriced house that I hate. Plus, back then, no buying incentives, overwhelming bidding wars. So the fact those things being gone alone makes me a winner. But just looking at it from the financial aspect, I look at every penny I pay in rent as a waste, and then I compare it to what's going on in the housing market. So it's hard. That's gonna be dependent on the person, right there. See, and here's what I meant about Miami. See, number one most unaffordable place in the U.S. And I think that's why we're gonna see Miami crash. I think we're gonna see it crash, you guys. All right, let's see here. Which area? I'm going to be honest, whichever area I find the house of my dreams, right? But north of Houston somewhere, I don't want to live close to downtown for obvious reasons. It's unaffordable and it's a lot of times pretty scummy areas. But I want to live probably 30 to 60 miles from Houston, probably up north somewhere is where I'm looking, somewhere with good school districts because I have children. So that's what I'm trying to head out to Dallas, Fort Worth to do a video. Dallas is in better shape as far as crashing than Houston. It's not as strong as Houston, in my opinion. A lot of building going on out there. I see you guys talking. Thank you guys so much. I'm trying, you guys. Here's another question. I'm going to wrap this up here in a minute, but here's another question. If you need to purchase man, my neck hurts. I don't know if I should shark fish anymore. You guys go, just real quick, check out my shark fishing page. It's Spartan Tackle Fishing. You guys, I love editing. I love doing cinematography, the drone stuff. I love being creative. I don't necessarily like sitting here reading and talking about data, but I love helping people. I mean, that's my passion here is you guys commenting. Like you have no idea how fulfilling. But if you guys want to see what I'm capable of and kind of who else, my hobbies and stuff, go to Spartan Tackle Fishing, check out those videos. You guys, the state of land-based shark fishing is a complete disaster. I'm actually kind of trying to improve it. So I'm getting so much hate over there, man. I mean, I get people that make fake police reports, tag me in my family. So it's really a sad thing. But you got to be fearless a little bit when you try to change things. But you guys go check that out if you're interested. Was that the question? I'm so sorry. Was that the question? Okay. If you need to purchase a second home as your primary home, then it wouldn't be your second home. But if you need to purchase your second home as a primary home and rent out the one I'm living in, and haven't paid off the mortgage, what do I need to do to provide the lender to consider it a rental property? Thank you. So you guys, I had to step out of lending. Okay. I trust someone and I work with someone named Jennifer Rader. Contact her. Her contact information is on my FHA video. Her contact information is on my update videos. So if it's about Texas, contact Jennifer. Because the reality of this question is it depends on the person, but I'm going to do the best I can. So depending on if it's conventional or FHA, and depending on if it's LP or DU, which is the underwriting, you're usually able to convert your primary residence and offset the mortgage payment from your debt to income ratio, because that's what we're talking about. You're usually able to offset the debt from your debt DTI by having in place an executed lease. So if you can find someone that's willing to lease out your property and you provide that to the lender, generally the underwriter can use that lease to offset your current mortgage payment from your DTI. But again, listen to me. It depends on your situation. In lending, there's so much specificity, you guys. It's shocking. I don't even know how I remember what I do. I mean, it's absolutely shocking. So you have to get a hold of them, okay? Question. I know we can't predict the future. 100%. But when do you think prices will stop decreasing as a whole? For example, right. Okay, so I've thought about this, you guys. Here's the thing. Okay, I don't think it's going to take 4 years. Okay, first of all, I don't think it's going to take 4 years. I think this time around, okay, I know for sure, okay, 100%. This time around, there's more demand on the sideline, right? That's why the federal government had to do quantitative tightening, right? They had to destroy demand because people can't stop, right? If they would just stop, we wouldn't have to do this. So I think we got 2 years. I think we got 2-year window. In fact, I don't even know if we have a 2-year window here. There's so much people that is pent up. I believe that, when the Federal Reserve pivots, lowers interest rates, I don't think it's going to be like the start of the pandemic because people have less money, more debt, and interest rates are higher. But I definitely think that I'm going to say 2 years, man. I don't think it goes past 2 years. Now, the thing is I could be completely wrong because, again, it depends on the Federal Reserve and it depends how much breaking they do in our country and out of our country. Okay. So I can see many situations to where this lasts 6 years. But I think overall, I think we got 2 years. All right. That's where I'm at right now. Good question, JK. Let's see. What is this here? What does the bottom of the market look like? I don't know. All right. Do you think, I'm sorry, I was think talking. Do you think since the emergence of so many new forms of GIG income, the actual formal job participation is way lower than we're, yes, 100%. I think we have more unemployment. And well, here's the thing. I don't think the labor market is as strong as the numbers show, but I definitely think the labor market is super duper strong because we made it that way from the stimulus. We designed the labor market to withstand COVID lockdowns. It should be strong, right? Pretty crazy, how strong. I don't like it. I'm going to be honest. I don't like it, you guys. I think if people want to invest in real estate, go get a house yourself. I don't think people should just throw money into a computer and have the computer buy homes. I'm not hating, but I think it's part of the problem. I think it's part of the problem, and I don't want to be part of it. And that's my opinion. I think people can make money though doing it. Good question, SF. Okay. I mean, look at this beast. All right. Now there's a video where I don't remember, 50% of kids between 19 and 29 live with their parents. And I made a video. Well, actually I ranted about that because, so Jeff is still, I think, living. I don't know. He's still living at home. But the reason I was ranting is most people aren't like Jeff. Jeff is doing it because he's extremely disciplined and very intelligent. That's why I love this man. Most people are living at home to play video games and not take responsibility for themselves, right? And the thing is, guys, the reality is, and Jeff, I'm sorry I'm using you as an example, man. You're just very influential. You motivate me. I think moving home could be some of the smartest thing some people can do. I think moving home allows you to reset yourself, your life, redo your goals, and save your money, right? So there's a lot of advantages. I just don't think most people are taking advantage of that, like my man Jeff is. So if you guys see Jeff, show that man some love. I'm afraid he's going to buy too early, you guys. But he's in a really tough market. I mean, I'm really sad. I'm really sad. I really want Jeff to win a lot. So let me see, you guys. I'm going to start, kind of getting through this as quickly as possible. Hey, Travis, can you talk about how the popularity of Miami is affecting nearby areas like Palm Beach? So if one area gets unaffordable, people migrate to a more affordable area. And you may see that. Although Palm Beach, I wouldn't say is affordable unless before the bridge. I don't know if you guys know West Palm. Oh my gosh. Pretty crazy. Good question, Gypsy Tree. You got some interesting questions here. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Investing in a mortgage note, quite frankly, could be one of the most financially successful investments of someone's life. So, I mean, mortgages make so much money. Sorry about that, guys. I had to itch my nose real quick. I didn't want you to see that. I think I was picking my nose. I've been needing to itch my nose for like 30 minutes. So, give me a little bit of props there. You know, I think owner financing deals, if you're the owner of financing, incredibly lucrative. I actually have a note on a house right now, and it will be paid this year. Really proud of that family. My gosh, I'm proud of that family. I actually have it. Again, very, very, very profitable. It's my own note though, on my own house, right? My other house. I actually have a note on a house, and I have a rental as well, even though I'm renting. So two investments, but I only have one at the end of this year. So let's see what else. I'm going to try quickly here. Johnny. So funny. All right. For a VA loan, get out of my head, Johnny. For a VA loan, do you know what's the max debt to income ratio to qualify for, and what will happen? And would you happen to know how much the max that you can get using the purchase price of VA loan in Texas? Thank you, brother. So Geraldo, reach out to Jennifer Rader. Okay. I'm gonna go back on this video in the description. I'm gonna put Jennifer Rader's. Let me write this down. I'm gonna put Jennifer Rader's info, a loan officer in Texas. And if you have questions in Texas about loans, you guys need to be talking to her, because in order to answer some of these questions, I have to, like, a loan officer will have to see your documentation, calculate DTI. But Geraldo, the really cool thing about VA is debt to income ratio is actually an overlay. So VA doesn't have a DTI. They actually have something called residual income calculations, which in my opinion is the better method at determining affordability for someone, which means residual income. How much income do you have left after you've paid the bills, right? Smart, right? So VA has the residual income guideline that says if you have like 3 people in your household, you have to have this much money left over after all of the bills are paid. But I can tell you that the highest debt to income ratio that I've went to as a loan officer was 54%. But in order to get to 54% on a VA, I had to have the buyer put down 10%. So they put down 10% on their VA because, VA is a zero down, and that loosened up the guidelines. So I hope I answered that question. And again, go back into the video. I'll have Jennifer's info on here. Johnny I Fly, I love you, man. So funny. Okay. I think, yeah, so Deuster's confirming. So my max was like 54 and then point something. So I think that was the right answer. Okay. I'm going to go down here, guys. I'm almost done here. I'm just scrolling down. I see a lot of local markets, you guys. I can't keep doing the local markets. I really want to do, I really love financing questions, negotiating questions, hard questions is really what I'm after here. Not necessarily like local housing market. Okay. Question. How soon after? Oh my gosh. So this is why. That's my question. First of all, why do you want to know that? Are you buying a house expecting to refinance? Is that now? Don't be buying houses expecting to refinance. The thing is, guys, I don't know. The answer is I don't know. It depends on what the benefit is, right? What's the benefit of refinancing? Because remember this. Let me talk to you guys about the cons of refinancing. First of all, you have to qualify. You have to qualify to refinance. The second con is you generally start the loan all over again. So if you've been paying a 30-year mortgage for 5 years, you refinance back into a 30-year, you just started your entire term over again. But if you refinance into a 30-year, into a 15-year, it's different. But refinancing, you have to qualify. Number 2, you have to start the loan all the way over again. And number 3, it's super expensive. Refinancing is not cheap. There are programs like FHA Streamline and the IRRL for VA that offer like free-ish refinances, but it's expensive. So you should not be buying houses right now expecting to refinance. I'm just going to say that point blank. And I've been doing this 2 decades. I've lost everything. I've come back. You guys should not be doing that, in my opinion. So let me keep going here. My man gave me I'm trying to scroll down. Would you buy now? I'm going to just say overall the answer is no. But if I found a great deal on a house that I love, I'll buy right now. I just can't find no great deal because my expectations are realistic. They're not even that. I don't even think they're unrealistic. This is good. So I generally don't compare year over year, Jeremy, but there has been so much hate and disinformation from like investors and realtors, that constantly say, oh, it's okay. We're still up year over year. And my point is no, we're not still up. We're down. You got to look at month over month. You got to look at YTD. I look at week over week. Just my opinion. But I compare year over year because that is a really strong point that investors make. Essentially, like, hey, real estate corrects and goes up and down a little bit, but as long as the year over year is still in the positive, you made the right investing decision. In other words, right? In a roundabout. Okay, Griffin, man, this guy really impressed me with his answer. So you guys check him out. Like I said, he has a YouTube channel. Griffin, send your link down in the comments if you can. But I mean, you guys heard his answer. I mean, that was absolute fire. So thank you for that love, man. I appreciate that. Okay, take a look at this, guys. Is it possible to negotiate at a new construction home? All right, this is a good one. If so, how would you approach submitting an offer? Okay, here's the thing, and I've been really trying to make this point. And here's the thing also, this is, so I don't always pick up my phone. Mostly I don't. I'm overwhelmed. But I would say probably maybe the number one, if not number one, the number two topic that I get is people calling me and say, Travis, you were right. Buying new construction is horrible. I'm like, I know I'm right. I said a video. Why are you calling me about it? Right? But the thing is, Jan, the service is, from my experience, most of the time, the service is disrespectful. Like you need a thick skin, right? You need to be guarded when dealing with these people. I'm not joking you. Not only is their service wacko, you can't trust what they're saying. They're not regulated like us. So when it comes to negotiation, I'm throwing a realtor at it. I'm not even dealing with the builder. I'm having my realtor take the blunt of the bullying. But you can 100% negotiate with a builder. Remember, they're desperate right now. They may not admit it to their reps who know nothing, but they're desperate right now. You can absolutely negotiate with the builder. My point is make sure your emotions are in check, because those guys normally suck. All right, from my experience, I'm just being honest there. Okay, good. So JK's just let us know about Riverside is going down. This is good. This is good. I'm trying to get some more questions here, guys. Okay, take a look at this. This is interesting. If I am young under 30, you guys, I have to record another video today. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how late it was. But if I'm under the age of 30, do interest rates really matter in terms of buying when I have many years to see a return? I would say whether you're over 30 or under 10 years old, your interest rate matters. Your interest rate really matters, especially with investing. Remember, when it comes to investing in property, it's generally not like your primary residence. When we purchase a primary residence, it's more of a pride, a livelihood, raising a family there. When we invest in real estate, it's generally about profit or cash flow. Okay. And your interest rate and your loan terms affect your cash flow. And that's the point I was trying to make. Hope that answered. Good question. Very good question. I'm doing the best I can. I don't have all the right answers here, guys. Okay. Hope you know that. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. Okay. Do most lenders no longer charge a prepayment penalty? Is there? Okay. This is good. Yes. Okay. So with the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act, okay, that was the law that they needed to pass in 2008 to basically shut down financing, right? So there's no prepayment penalties. It's actually against the law to have a prepayment penalty in a loan that's known as a qualified mortgage. Anything outside of qualified mortgage, like non-QM, hard money loans, seller's financing, might come with a prepayment penalty. So that's something that you're really going to want to look at. But normal financing doesn't. Normally, QM mortgages not allowed to have prepayment penalties. I have to be very careful because you need to read your paperwork, right? Okay, so here's the confirmations. Yeah, usually for 45%, they can go up to 50%. So again, and that's why I made the point. I was able to get 55% with my AUS approval because of the 10% down payment. Because normally you can't go over 50%. But again, it's residual income. So you kind of got to do both. You guys, let me see if I can find one more question here. And that's it, guys. I got to get out of here. I think this is a question here. Okay. There may not ever be a perfect time to buy. I agree. Either home prices are high and the interest rates are lower, or the home prices are lower and the interest rates are high. So where do you find the balance? This is a good question to end on. This is my ending question, you guys. Just real quick, I appreciate everyone staying in tune here. So here's the thing, okay? Now, in order for me to explain this, you have to first understand that there's a difference between unaffordability and price, all right? So if you understand there's a difference in unaffordability and price, I have to tell you this. Normally, when people emphasize payment, it's a trick, a used car salesman trick. Because to come up with a payment, you have to do a lot. You come up with interest rates and fees and loan amount. It's all baked in. And then here's this payment. People fail to look at what it takes to get the payment. So here's the thing. I personally, we want interest rates to be high. I want interest rates in the 10%. Okay. Because the data is showing right now, the higher the interest rates and the more time that goes on, should have lower prices. So the thing is, if I purchased a house at the peak in June at $390,000, my rate was 5.5%. Fast forward to right now, home prices, according to Redfin, down about $40,000, but yet rates are 7%. If we compare houses from peak to right now, this house here is at peak. It has a 5% rate at 390. This house right here has a 7% rate at 340. The payment is lower with the higher rate. So even if the payment wasn't lower, this house is cheaper by $40,000. It's easier for me to now sell this house or refinance it because I have more equity and a higher rate. So it makes there's an easier way to get a benefit from a refinance the higher your rate is. Do y'all see what I'm saying? The problem is if you buy an overpriced house with with a rate that's too high. And that's why I'm like sounding the alarm, like, you guys wait, the rates are like doubled. Like, let the prices come down more, right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I really appreciate all the time. I'm going to wrap it up right now. Definitely love you guys. I'm going to try to put out a video that I'm going to try to work on right now. There's some really good questions, but I'm going to try to work on a video right now, you guys. My video for this evening is essentially I'm going to do a reaction video to clear tax value, because he made a recent video about the housing market, talking about how it's all clickbait. So, and I like that guy. I was like really surprised. I think I really enjoy his videos, but he's an accountant. He doesn't know a lot about real estate. So I'm going to do a little bit of a reaction video to that. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm going to try to drop that at 4 p.m. Central, or I'm sorry, 3 p.m. Central, so I don't have much time. Let me know, though, guys. Comment on the other video. I definitely appreciate you. I'm going to get out of here right now. And obviously, guys, if you're out there investing in real estate, I do wish you luck, and I hope you win.